Hey everyone, welcome to this week's video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the red pastel tips from BTArtbox. BTArtbox kindly sent this through to me to try out on camera for you guys today. In this kit you get the UV LED nail lamp, inside you get the nail lamp itself and the cable. It's a USB port, I believe. You have 6 LED bulbs and then you have the button on top of the appliance, which is very easy to press, and then you have so much space to cure the nail tip onto your finger. I'm just going to plug this in now so that it's a lot easier when I get cracking on with this nail tutorial. In this box you get all the gel polishes that you need to apply all the nail tips onto your fingers. So you have 3 bottles in here. And then on the back of this box you have the instructions. Feel free to pause if you want to read this real quick. The first one we have is the gel glue. And I'm just going to open this up just to see the consistency of it. It's quite medium to thick consistency. And then the second one is the top coat, which is very thin consistency, as most gel top coats are like this, so it's fairly normal. And then the builder gel, this product is slightly thicker than the gel glue. And then here are them all side by side. And these are the red pastel tips. I cannot wait to see how amazing these look. And here are the instructions again. So just unboxing the XCOAT tips. You can see how bright these red colours are, or the red colour that you can see, the singular one. Let's remove these side bits and have a look at all of these shades. So we have 5 sets in here. The first one is a cool sort of bright red shade. The second one is a slight auburn brown shade. And then the third one looks amazing, like a red orangey chrome colour. And then we have this deep red burgundy shade. And then the last one is a deep warm red tone. I love them all. I don't know which one to use. And then we also have the BTArtbox 100 to 180 grit nail file. To prep my nails, I'm going to be going in with this brand new nail file. Let's unpack this. So satisfying. I'm just going to file the free edge of my nail and then buff the surface of the nail so that it sort of adheres to my nail better. And then I'm going to go in with some nail dehydrator to get rid of any excess oils that are remaining on my nail beds. And do that on all of my nails. And then we're going to be going with this colour, and then we're going to be sizing the tip so that each nail tip fits sidewall to sidewall perfectly. I do sometimes need to reshape the edges of this though, because my nail beds tend to be more rounded rather than the square shaped of the nails, but it's very minimal filing needed for this set, which is just perfect. BTArtbox tips in terms of quality is next to none, because I've tried to get press-ons with the French tip built in on them. The design itself, like one side of the French tip is more thicker than the other side in contrast, and quality wise they're very thin, flimsy, they lift very easily for some reason, even if it does fit my nail beds, and they also chip so quickly, especially when you use your hands a lot. Just looking at this nail in particular close up, you can see how perfect it is and how thick and quite rigid they are. Despite how much you try to bend them, they just stay in one shape and it just hugs your nail just perfectly. Whether you have flat beds or curved beds, they just work for all nail types. I do like the idea of filing the nail tips slightly, especially around the cuticles. It just allows you to tailor to fit each nail tips to your individual nail, especially if your nail beds are misshapen. Like my middle fingers are a little bit wonky, so sometimes if the nail tips come rounded, I'm unable to sort of have it fit the corners correctly. So using my middle finger as a reference here, you can sort of see how square it is, but one side of my middle finger is slightly more squarer than the other side. So sometimes I have to make sure that I round one side a little bit more than the other side so that it fits like flush. But if you get like rounded tips, sometimes it just doesn't work and there's less room to like have it fit your nail bed perfectly. So as you can see, I'm just sort of just going over that side a little bit more than the other one, and then you can see how easily it just fits perfectly. I did go off camera really quickly to apply a peel off base coat. Starting off with the gel glue, I'm going to apply a very thin layer onto the nail tip to where the natural nail ends, and then add a little bit of an excess on the end just to make sure that you don't get any air pockets, because that is not bougie. And then what I'm going to do is carefully press it onto the end of my nail, then press it down and then put it into the light and then cure for 60 seconds. And then move on to the second nail and do the exact same thing 4 more times. These nail tips are available in a few different base shades so that they look natural and complement almost all skin complexions. There's also less time spent on prepping your nails with these tips because they come with primer, a soft gel layer and a matte top coat on top for if you want to add any additional designs. But it's entirely up to you. You can either freehand some drawing, you can add some stickers, you can add some nail charms, you can do whatever you want with them. It's literally your canvas. You can leave them plain too because the colour itself speaks volumes, but I'm gonna add a little bit more stuff to it to make it more Christmassy. Now that all the nails have been applied, I'm going to file off these excess nibs using the nail file. If you'd like to try these nails out for yourself, feel free to visit the BTArtbox website. You can use code RUBY10 to get 10% off. There's so many different varieties and different styles of the French tips that they have. They also have the magnetic cat eye effect that I also made a video for, so please do check out that one if you feel like you want to give that a go just to see how it looks. I have some excess gel glue that is spilled out here. I'm just going to clip them off using this cuticle trimmer, but you do need to do this very carefully and slowly so that it doesn't fly into your eye. And then I also have some on this finger too. I'm just going to clip that off. Again, you want to be very careful so that you don't cut your skin. So you've got to be very strategic with where you cut. Moving on to nail charms, I don't have anything that screams Christmas, so I'm just going to make do with this jingle bell with the bow. It doesn't look very Christmassy, but I'm going to add more to it alongside this bow as well. Look at this smooth transition. So I added some of this green shade onto the bow, and then I added this champagne. And then I topped it off with this gel liner just to make it a bit more Christmassy and jolly. For nail stickers, I'm going to be using these gold stars. And then I'm also going to be pairing this up with the gold reindeers on this sticker set. I reckon all 3 of these paired together is going to look very cute and Christmassy. Using my rhinestone glue, I'm going to attach the jingle bells to my ring finger. I'm just going to apply a bead of this gel glue. And then I'm going to use my UV hand light to cure the bells in place. And then I'm going to add another bead of rhinestone glue to apply the bow to my index finger. It's very tricky to get the camera to focus, but this one was very tricky to keep it in place. I should have used an e-file to add a bit of a ridge on the back of it so it would fit the nail shape, but yeah, I got there eventually and I cured it in place. To apply the reindeers, I used my tweezers to pick the sticker apart. This was remarkably quite tricky, but I didn't want to rip or tear, so I took my time with it. And then I just placed it right in the center of my middle finger. And then I used a standing up reindeer on my thumb finger. These reindeers look so adorable. I should have put like a little diamante on the eyes. I just realized this now as I'm editing this. I'll do that next time, maybe for another set. For the pinky finger, I'm going to use 2 of these stars. I'm going to use the big one slightly centered to the left of the nail, and then I'm going to use a tiny star to accompany the big star. So adorable. Look how stunning. Going in with the builder gel, I'm going to seal in the reindeers, the stars, the nail charms and the French tip. Now, last but not least, we're going to apply the top coat just to finish all of the nails up. If you want to try out this red pastel tip kit, feel free to give it a go, or if you want to look at and explore other designs on the BTArtbox website, I'll leave a link in the description box below. If you also fancy a bit of a discount when you want to place your order, feel free to use the code RUBY10 to get 10% off. Before we finish off, I'm just going to apply some cuticle oils. So we're just going to rub that in and saturate the cuticles, and look how cute these look. Look how horrible my nails look on the right. And that's it for this week's video. If you enjoyed watching, please do leave it a massive like, and I shall see you for next week's video. Bye!